love fireworks.
Too bad it's illegal to shoot them off in our state without a license.
Seems like it would be a lot of fun.
But maybe also stressful. You're dealing with timers and fire and explosions. Yikes!
This is a snap review for Skyrockets, a real-time cooperative game about making a fireworks display.
Skyrockets was created by Charlie McCarron, and it's published by Floodgate Games. It says it's for 2 to 5 players ages 10 and up, and you can play it in 10 minutes or less.
So, a game about fireworks has got to have great art, right?
Skyrockets has 6 colorful timers. Each one is a different length of time. There's also a deck of firework cards, a countdown track, crowd tokens, and a deck of event cards. These firework cards are gorgeous. Each one has 2 colors up here in the corner, and each of the 2 color combinations has a different illustration of a complex firework picture with those 2 colors.
And I love that each of the crowd tokens flip from bright and excited to dark and looking down at their phones.
Just like real life. So let's talk about how to play Skyrockets. What are the mechanics?
So the basic idea is that you're flipping timers based on playing colored firework cards. Start the setup with an event card. This will tell you which timers to prepare, how many cards each player gets in their hand, and a few other special instructions. You'll also set up a countdown track with one of the timers and set all the crowd tokens to their star side.
When setup is complete, flip the timers! Now players take turns playing a card, flipping the 2 timers matching the icons on the card, and then drawing a new card. You generally need to take turns in order, but you can do them as quickly or as slowly as you like. But try to keep the sand flowing.
The timer on the countdown track is a little different. Every time you flip it over, you'll move it to the next spot on the track.
But you can't flip it over unless it has run out. If you play a card with this color while the countdown timer is still running, you ignore this timer and only flip the other timer that's pictured.
What happens if a timer runs out?
You risk having a dud and losing the crowd's attention.
If you notice that a timer ran out, flip a crowd token, then flip the timer over to get it started again. You've got 2 chances to keep the crowd's attention. If you flip the 3rd crowd token, you've lost.
But if you get the countdown timer to the final spot on its track, you immediately win the game. The number of stars the crowd is holding is your rating.
Woohoo!
Skyrockets comes with 30 scenarios, each of which has its own setup rules and playstyle. The rulebook suggests that you play them in order and track how many tries it takes to win each one before moving on to the next. For a 5-minute game, there's a lot of playtime represented here.
So, what did we expect from Skyrockets?
It initially looked to me like a sequel to the game Kites. Kites was a really neat idea, but the few times I played it, I was so stressed out by the end. It's just frantic trying to keep all the timers from running out. But I was convinced to try Skyrockets anyway. It only takes 5 minutes, right?
When I first looked at it, it looked kind of boring, but I was willing to try it.
It did seem to me that having the crowd tokens to flip over an empty timer would make Skyrockets a little bit more forgiving and a little bit more interesting. But what surprised us about this game?
What really surprised me is how fast it goes. And I learned that you don't always want to flip a timer right away. Sometimes it's better to wait until they're almost out, especially the shorter ones like red and orange.
I was surprised how much the game could change with the different scenarios. They're grouped into festivals of 3 events each, and each festival has a different theme. Some emphasize communication, others don't even allow any talking. There are all different kinds of restrictions on how you access cards to play, or how you flip timers, or what you're even allowed to see. Some are just full of crazy randomness.
I was surprised that there were only 3 different shows for each festival. So if you really like them, you can just play them over and over and over again. But if you don't like them, you can just skip them.
All these different scenarios gave the game a sense of forward motion for me wanting to try the next thing. That's really rare in a game that plays so quickly. And it made it an easy sell to pull out like after school for a really quick game break.
So Mom, do we recommend Skyrockets?
I think we recommend it for some families. Since this is a fast-acting, timed cooperative game, there are going to be a lot of families who won't like it. There were a few scenarios that were frustrating to us, but overall we enjoyed it. So if you'd like a super fast game that will force you to cooperate in lots of different ways, you should try Skyrockets. So Asher, what do you think we should rate Skyrockets?
I think we should rate Skyrockets 3.5 fireworks out of 5.
And that's Skyrockets in a snap.